Howdy, 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 y'all doing? We just got back from the BoBoiBoy Movie 2 special screening event at GSC Alamanda, which, on the off chance you're watching this, like, after 8th of August 2019 when the movie already came out. Yeah, that special screening event is on the 3rd of August 2019, so yay. And yeah, thank you guys at Monsta for inviting us at this event. We have a ton of fun there. We met like a bunch of old friends, and then we get to meet the directors, the voice actors, and then take pictures of mascots and everything. It's all fun and good there. But let's get to the point and talk about the movie itself, because it is a review of the movie. So, what do we think of it? Well, before we actually do say our thoughts about it, let's clarify things. There will be no spoilers in this review. No, we won't talk too much in depth about the plot. We won't reveal anything too significant because certain plot points are way too important to reveal right now. You're gonna have to actually watch the movie itself to actually know what's going on in there. And we won't be we won't post a link to a sort of like thing where we talk about, the spoilers and whatnot. I mean, the link is nice so that, so that people who have seen the movie know the spoilers can check it out. But there's a good chance that someone who doesn't know what's going on in the movie, they just have to check it out. And then they feel disappointed that they decide to spoil themselves, and that's not fun. That's your responsibility, but we don't want to. But we also have our responsibility not to give you the option to, accidentally ruin yourself with spoilers. That being said, we really like the movie. It's a real treat to enjoy. It's definitely an improvement from the first movie. The first movie is not bad or anything. It's still a fun time. It's still like a good time watching it, knowing what's going on and whatnot. But once you've watched the second movie, BoBoiBoy Movie 2, the first movie does feel like it's more on the okay side of thing. It's still good and whatnot, but BoBoiBoy Movie 2 definitely improved on it. And when we say everything is improved, it's the story, the characters, and the soundtrack, blah blah. There's a whole lot of things to talk about, but that's on the spoiler side of things. But so we'll try not to talk too much about that. We can still go a bit in depth, but there's a certain threshold we must not cross. And what about the story itself? Well, it definitely feels way more personal and character driven, which is nice. Plot driven stories where things happen to our characters instead of just, everything results from our characters' actions and whatnot. It's fine. But, even in the original show, the season 2 and 3 were the more character-driven stories, in the whole series and whatnot. And those were, and I can definitely admit I really liked, that kind of story. More BoBoiBoy Galaxy has a bit of both, character-driven and plot-driven, but I have to admit I really liked the way season 2 and 3 handle things a bit more. Most of season 3, but we're not going to be talking about that. We're supposed to be talking about BoBoiBoy Movie 2. And speaking of characters, who? BoBoiBoy, Yaya, Fang, retak'ka, Jabat, Opa, Ying, all sorts of other people in the movie. Well, they have more agency as characters, for lack of a better term. They definitely have way more to do in this, and it's not. And by that we don't mean just they do things more. I mean, as in they do things, but it's not just because they have to because they're tagging along and they're just assisting and whatnot. No, they have their own thing to do. They have their own thing to do. They actually operate more as characters. They have in the first movie, like they definitely do have a bit more. They definitely do have things going on for them. Like they do function as characters, but here it's definitely way better executed. And speaking of characters, like let's talk about retak'ka for a bit. As a villain, like okay, there's a bit of a negative that we can sort of go into. Yeah, I mean, most villains in BoBoiBoy, we kind of have to admit, like it's really just we're kind of jerks and we're evil and whatnot. I mean, there's a dude who does have his character development in the show and whatnot, and he's definitely an entertaining villain. retak'ka, I mean, in comparison to every other villain except Batudu, he definitely does have a bit more going into him besides the threatening design, voice, and powers. Like he also has the same powers as BoBoiBoy, so him actually having that kind of power does it helps give BoBoiBoy a more personal opposition and whatnot, and there's more going on to him, but that's when we end up having to go to spoiler territory, and let's not talk about spoiler territory. And of course, let's talk about I almost said BoBoiBoy Fire and Water. I mean the song Fire and Water, sung by Faisal Tahir. As a song itself, we prefer Masih di Sini. We kind of have to admit that, but it's really more of our musical preference. Like we kind of like the rock more, and that how it represents the movie, and it's not just the genre, like it's action so it must be rock. No, it's more to the themes and whatnot. Fire and Water definitely fits well, but as the way the song is used in the movie itself, Fire and Water definitely fits better. Yeah, we're not gonna say anything in particular, about when the song is used, but it definitely takes advantage of the more upbeat and more positive feeling of the song itself, which is great. Masih di Sini as a song itself, we like it more than Fire and Water, but as the way it's used in the movie, it's less effective. I mean, it's not, again, the song's not bad, just not used as well in the movie compared to Fire and Water. And one more thing we gotta have to talk about. Okay, like we don't have much to talk about in terms of non-spoiler stuff, but we can at least give our opinion onto the mid-credit scene. It's definitely a surprise. Like, oh my goodness me. Yeah, you're really gonna have to stay in your seats, like when you after the credits start rolling or whatnot. I mean, technically they don't start. Whatever. The point is, the mid-credit scene. It's really something. I mean, it came really close to, going into certain territory in terms of storytelling and lore. I remember ranting about something. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna say what I ranted about, but whatever I whatever I ranted about in terms of like storytelling and whatnot, it's not just in BoBoiBoy. It's not just a potential thing to happen in BoBoiBoy, but it is a thing in certain stories like comics or movies and whatnot that's not handled well, and BoBoiBoy movie 2, the mid-credit scene. That scene nearly went into that direction. Sorry my voice. It nearly went there. It didn't go there, but it was close. And as a mid-credit scene, it's definitely a shocker. But in terms of how it affects in terms of how it adds to the lore and whatnot, I'm a bit wary, but I'll let it slide because it didn't imply things that retcon anything too important and ruins the character too for me. So I'll let it pass. We'll let it pass, right?
Yep. And now, what else we have to say?
I don't think we actually have much to say. So, ratings?
Yeah. And, we, after an off-screen discussion, we've rated it
9 out of 10. It's a fun time in the theaters. It's a fun time in theaters. And have fun. Spread the message. Tell what you think about this movie. If you've watched this movie, talk about it in the comments. Just don't go for spoilers and whatnot. Please don't. And see you guys next time.
Goodbye.